We are watching the US dollar collapsing in real time and on purpose. Klaus Schwab and the globalists that all got together this week at Davos and run the World Economic Forum, they are counting on it. They want the US dollar to collapse. And so does, by the way, Janet Yellen and President Biden. They want it to happen so they can roll out a CBDC, a central bank digital currency that is backed by Wall Street, where they will have total control over every aspect of your life. Now, we're going to show you how they plan to do this in a moment. Yes, your US dollar won't be run by Washington. It'll be run by Wall Street bankers, the same guys responsible for the 2008 financial collapse, by the way. But they might have just met their match in Donald Trump with a major announcement this week. And we'll get to that part of the story here in a moment. First of all, the United States dollar is, of course, backed by debt. It's not backed by gold or silver or anything else. It's backed by debt. And countries around the world are dumping U.S. debt. They're dumping U.S. treasuries in favor of gold and silver-backed currencies. So the United States can't operate. It can't function if people aren't loaning us money and buying U.S. treasury bills. But this is all part of the plan. The plan has been to run the U.S. dollar into the ground on purpose so that Wall Street banks could issue a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, a digital U.S. dollar that's not backed by the United States Treasury, but instead it's owned and operated by Wall Street. And this is the most important part of this news. Investigative journalist Whitney Webb is perhaps the smartest person in the world on how the CBDC plan will come together. She just wrote an in-depth expose on how this elite-backed digital payment system will come together. I spoke to her this week, and she explained to me how Wall Street plans to roll this out with the coordination of the White House and Hollywood. And spying on Americans will be central to this new CBDC.
We know that these top Wall Street banks or whatever companies are chosen by the U.S. government to be able to issue these digital dollars. They're going to be full on to collaborate with the surveillance agenda of the U.S., which is, increasingly a financial surveillance agenda as well. And there's a lot of efforts to eliminate right now online and financial privacy for Americans. And we need to be very wary of that. And Wall Street has shown time and again that they're very willing to collaborate.
So let that sink in for a moment. The same global elites that forced us into lockdowns and vaccine mandates and caused the housing collapse are the very same people that will control your money. They will surveil everything you buy and everywhere you go. Even the Financial Times confirms it's all about control in a brand new report that they call New Money. Quote, as CBDCs become more common, central banks will be able to maintain a higher degree of control over the flow of currency, while still enabling citizens to make contactless payments without leaving the purview of the central bank. CBDCs also provide central banks with unprecedented control over fiscal and monetary policies. As national responses to the COVID-19 pandemic proved, effective implementation of monetary policy can be a matter of life and death. Okay. Yeah, it's a matter of life and death that they have this control. We can't have people refusing to take the jabs or refusing to stay locked in their houses. It's life and death, people. This isn't fantasy. The World Economic Forum in Davos said the same thing this week. The power of a digital dollar isn't just about money. It's about following everything you do.
Why? Because in order to open an account, you need to have an ID.
Right.
And I have to say that when I started this job, there were actually very little countries in Africa or Latin America that had one ubiquitous type of ID, and certainly that it was digital, and certainly that it was biometric. And we've really worked with all our partners to actually help that being, to grow this. And the interesting part of it is that, yes, it is very necessary for financial services. But not only, it's also good for school enrollment. It's also good for health, who actually got a vaccination or not. It's very good to get your subsidies, from the government. So this has not only effect to the financial services. It's a very important issue.
Yeah, we know everything about you. But just follow the money. Wall Street is already hiring Hollywood A-list actors like Idris Elba to push million-dollar marketing campaigns for this money system. Watch this.
Opportunity welcomed me to a better future.
Not by solving my problems for me.
Action!
But by empowering me to craft my own success.
Puedo mandarle dinero a mi familia.
Oh, and that's how they'll sell it to us. This digital dollar is more equitable than the old US dollar that you've been used to. Think about all the people that can't get bank accounts. Now all they need is a smartphone, and Wall Street will take care of you. They will let you have access to this new US digital dollar. But of course, it's all about control. They want to control every aspect of your life, and controlling your money supply is the ultimate power play, as Catherine Austin Fitts points out.
The reality, as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate. It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because we're so used to living with financial transaction freedom, and we don't understand that when this gate closes on us, we literally will be sitting in a system where the central banks believe that our assets belong to them, and they can dictate where we can spend money and what we can spend money on.
So by Wall Street controlling your money in a digital wallet, they'll be able to monitor and control everything you do. Want to take an airplane to visit your friends? Sorry, you've gone over your carbon allowance this month. That's why this week Donald Trump might have upended everything with his attack on CBDCs. Fresh off his stunning win in Iowa, Trump announced if he's elected president, he will ban CBDCs.
And tonight I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know about that? You know what they're doing. Such a currency would give a federal government, our federal government, the absolute control over your money. They could take your money, you wouldn't even know it was gone. This would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I will stop it from coming to America.
CBDCs would give the federal government absolute control over your money, and it's a dangerous threat to freedom. That's why they don't want President Trump. Will the deep state allow him to become president? We are watching the most important battle we've ever seen for the future of the US dollar. This year, right now, is going to forever change the course of this country in 2024. That's the news update part of today's video. Now I want you to pay attention to today's sponsor, which is tied directly to the future of the US dollar and all of these BRICS currencies that are backed by gold. That company is called CLLXF Mines. Now, pay attention to this price. I'm going to put this price right up here on your screen. $3 per share, okay? I'm putting this up here on your screen for a very good reason. It's context, but I just want you to remember this $3 number, okay? That is the price that institutional investors have paid for to buy shares of CLLXF Mines. I tell you this for a good reason. Today's company is one of the best companies that I've ever seen, and this could be one of the most important videos that I produce in 2024. When we want to evaluate what an exploration phase company in its venture capital stage is worth in the eyes of institutional investors who assess high risk, high reward companies for a living, that's what they do, we look at what they do and not what they say. Are they drilling, or do they just talk about drilling? Right? These are very important things. Mackenzie Investments, for example, purchased over $500,000 in shares of CLLXF Mines. Now, Mackenzie Investments was founded back in 1967. If you're an investor, you probably know all about Mackenzie. It's one of Canada's largest investment management firms based on assets under management. Mackenzie has several funds that are rated 5 stars by Morningstar, including their precious metals fund that ties directly into CLLXF Mines and its discoveries of high-grade copper, gold, zinc resources in the town of Flin Flon in Canada. I love that name, Flin Flon, but it's such an important town. When a fund this successful drops $1 million on CLLXF at a price that's 100% higher than what the stock is currently trading for, I get very interested in learning more about this. Now, the town of Flin Flon was founded back in 1927 by Hudson Bay Mining Company and Smelting, and they wanted to exploit the giant high-grade 62 million ton deposit that shares the same name as the town, the Flin Flon deposit. It's one of the most significant districts in the world, with over 30 mines and production totaling over 130 million tons of minerals. But the town is in deep trouble. The town's future is currently in jeopardy with the shutdown of Hudbay's flagship 777 mine and the loss of nearly 800 direct jobs. Now, this is exactly why Peter Jones, who was directly involved with the development of 2 of the 3 largest mines in that town in Flin Flon's history, was formerly the CEO of Hudbay. He's now with CLLXF Mines. He joined up with them. Altius Minerals also has dropped over $500,000 and bought shares of CLLXF mines at a price that is double what today's price is on the open market. So they bought $3 a share. They bought it for $3 a share. Right now, CLLXF is trading at just $1.27 a share as of this recording. So they paid double what we can buy it for today. Now, this is really interesting. Altius Minerals has been one of the most proven capital allocators in the business since 1997. You can look at their track record. I love that they vetted CLLXF mines and then chose to invest in them. CLLXF Mines is going to raise more funds and conduct drilling this year in 2024. That's why I love bringing you these companies before they announce drilling results. Here's why. In July of 2020, for example, the stock traded for just over $1. Okay. By October, it doubled in price after they announced drilling results. Then in January of 2021, take a look at your screen. It traded for $1.75 a share. And then in July 2021, it doubled in price. Then in January of 2023, last year, it traded for $1.57 a share. And then by July 2023, guess what? It doubled in price again. What is the common denominator? They announced drilling results. My point is that if CLLXF Mines makes significant exploration results, its stock historically follows. So I urge you to research this company because they will be drilling this year. They're going to be drilling in 2024. By the way, 1832 Asset Management recently invested a significant sum last year. They've been buying the dips. And now 1832 Asset Management now owns 5.8% of CLLXF. So as you can see, the stock is up 58% over the last 5 years. But notice these dips. Well, that's where they've been buying because they know what's going to happen. So they've been buying the dips and then they've been reaping the benefits of this stock doubling in value. And each time that stock has doubled, they've made significant profits. Now, as you can see above, the goal in 2024 is to expand the various discoveries and resources of high-grade copper, gold, zinc that CLLXF Mines already has under its belt and hit some holes that prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that they have something big here. So here is their stock ticker on your screen. You can see the current price right now is $1.27 a share, very, very cheap. And highly credible institutions have already invested at a price of $3 Canadian. So the price is currently half of that price. So these big institutional investors bought all these shares and they're sitting on it, waiting for this company to continue to produce, right? So they're holding those shares. Management also owns 25% of the company. So they have significant skin in the game. I watch these mining companies very, very closely. I'm telling you, this company is something special. This is a region that is extremely safe in Canada, has been focused on mining for nearly a century. So now, guys, it's up to you to do your own homework on CLLXF Mines. I personally love this company, and so do three of the most proven institutions and smart money funds in Canada. And today, the price of the stock is half of what they paid for it. I'm shocked by this, actually, and I love that they continue to buy shares during these dip periods as well. So, guys, do your own due diligence on this company. I'll have links to their website in the description below. You can read about all of their mining projects right now in the Flin Flon area, and you need to use one of the bigger brokerages like E-Trade or TD Ameritrade to buy this stock. I personally use E-Trade for all of my smaller mining stocks. Again, guys, do your own homework on this upcoming drilling projects, and we will see you next time, everyone.